Welcome to the Miracles Happen Fertility Podcast, where it's all about using the power of your mind to create hope, health, and miracles on your fertility journey. And now your host, a dash of science and a heap of spirit, Dr. Maria Rothenberger.
Well, hello there. This is Dr. Maria Rothenberger, your host for the Miracles Happen Fertility Podcast. Welcome to the show. I am a psychotherapist and coach, spirit baby intuitive. I like to help folks with both the very grounded, sciencey matters of fertility and family building and the esoteric, very spiritual side as well. Lately, in the last few episodes, I've gone back to my psychotherapy roots, this very grounded mindfulness stuff, emotional and mental wellness. But oftentimes I talk about spiritual topics as well, and pull in other folks who talk about energy healing and things like crystals and stuff like that. So it's a beautiful combo of all of those things on this podcast. Today, I'm going to be talking about a topic that has come up quite a bit lately with a lot of clients, and I've seen it actually in action, and I've seen it in media, toxic positivity. If you've been around super positive people, everything is sunshine and unicorns and rainbows, then you know what I mean. It's a beautiful thing, and it can be toxic, and I'll explain why. First, though, I like to just introduce and talk about things that are happening in the Miracles Happen Fertility Center world. We are coming upon the end of 2021. Can you freaking believe it? I can't. Oh, it's like nuts. The year just slipped right through my fingers. So what is happening for this month specifically? This is December 2021. And I am offering 25% off my entire fertility shop using the code Holiday Spirit upon checkout. That means big ticket things like packages, coaching packages, and spirit baby sessions, all the way down to smaller ticket items like meditations, which are anywhere from, I think, $3.99 to like $8.99 or something. Everything 25% off from now until the end of December 2021. So that is 11:59 p.m. Pacific time on New Year's Eve. Everything is 25% off. Use code Holiday Spirit. You can find the fertility shop at drmariarothenberger.com/shop. So that's a thing. Now, this is pretty important, so pay attention here. When 2022 hits, all of my prices are going up. So there is a way around that. I know that right now, the holiday season, we are giving. We're spending a lot of our resources, our time, our money on others, which is a beautiful thing. And so then it might be a little difficult to spend on yourself right now. I am offering in my, again, fertility shop, if you want to make appointments, so that's one-on-one time with me for whatever, is it coaching or a spirit baby session, I am offering the ability to book far in advance without paying up front for those who are on my mailing list. So it's pretty important. Get on my mailing list, and I will send you the link to my booking portal, and you can book as far in advance, up to 6 months in advance for an appointment for 2021 pricing. Okay, really important. And as I said, the entire shop right now is 25% off. So what does that mean for you? Not only if you want to book an appointment at 6 months into the future, you will get 2021 pricing plus 25% off. So that means if you want a spirit baby session, but you can't do it in December, you can't pay for it in January, you can't pay for it in February, you get booked, and then you won't get charged until the day of your appointment. So that does mean that a credit card goes on file. It is not something that I see. It's all secure in my system. But you will be charged the day of your appointment rather than upfront, which is how it normally goes. So happy holidays to you. You still get to gift yourself something, something really big if you'd like a whole coaching package or a whole Spirit Baby package. More information on that, by the way, you can get on my website, drmariarothenberger.com, or email me or contact me through the contact form. Super easy. I usually get back to you pretty quickly in a few days. All right. Let's get into the topic for today. Oh, wait, let me just check. I think that's all I had to say. Oh, one more thing. This probably won't be until January, but these big things like Spirit Baby sessions and coaching packages and things like this, some people don't need that much. Some folks just want a short, intuitive reading. And it could be also about non-baby related things, so like career and things like that. I'm going to be launching short intuitive readings. Probably I'm looking in January. So you will be able to purchase those for a lot less money. And they are video readings. So how that would work is that you would send me a question, one question, and I would send you a video back with my intuitive impressions about that question. This could also be, hey, can you check in with my Spirit Baby and tell me what's going on over there? And I would offer a short 15-minute video back at you. So that is a thing that's coming up as well in the new year that I'm really, really excited about because it's just so much fun. And it helps folks who can't really go for the big thing because, hello, you might be paying for fertility treatments or adoption costs or things like that. And so these will be a lot less money and really valuable still. So, okay, that's the last announcement I had. All right, let's get into this topic of toxic positivity. Now, what exactly does that mean even? I did an episode long time ago called Why Positivity Isn't Everything. And so I talked about this a lot back then, but I think it's worth a revisit because now people are calling this toxic positivity, and it totally makes sense. So what exactly is toxic positivity? I love this definition here that I saw on the psychologygroup.com. Toxic positivity, the overgeneralization of a happy, optimistic state that results, this is the very important part, it results in the denial, minimization, and invalidation of the authentic human emotional experience. That is the toxic part. It's painful. And it's usually coming from a nice place, like, oh, those fertility things that we hear all the time. Oh, it's meant to be, it'll be, in God's time. These kinds of things where people are trying to be encouraging, but it's not. It fails miserably, frankly. So that is the general idea of toxic positivity. And I love what Deepak Chopra said about that even a positive mind is a turbulent mind, because when you think about that, it's not coming from a place of peace. And that, when I work with folks, is the biggest theme that I attempt to help someone bring into their life, into their headspace, into their emotions, is a state of peace with whatever is going on. And so whether you're really, really negative all the time or really, really positive, your glass is half empty or glass is half full, it's all turbulent. There's no stillness in it. There's no peace. And so when someone is attempting to create a positive attitude for you, it is coming from a place of non-stillness. They cannot handle the negative emotion. That becomes hard for them. And so they attempt to deflect that within themselves by offering some positive, insights. So not only does it come from a place of non-stillness, it creates pain. It creates heartache, and it creates a big disconnection between people. If ever you wanted an opportunity to connect to your friend or partner or loved one, it is in being empathetic with them. It is in honoring that they are in a painful place right now. In my dissertation, I dedicated or I acknowledged my husband. I think it was in the dedication actually, where I said that he wasn't the one who tried to pick me up out of the darkness. He was the one that sat in it with me and just let me know that he was there. That is what we're looking for when we are attempting to create connection with people. Now, that wasn't all the time. I had to tell you, in the beginning, my husband was very much toxic positive. Everything's fine. It's going to be okay. We'll get out of this. It's going to be all right. Everything happens for a reason. We just weren't meant to have it, be, pregnant at this time, blah, blah, blah. All of those things that created this disconnection, because I'm inside going, well, why the fuck do I feel so shitty then? Why do I feel so bad then? Because everything's fine. So why do I feel so bad? So that created this disconnect. He wasn't getting it. Over time, and if you read my book, Transcending Infertility, you'll see it was a very freaking difficult time. It was very dark in our life. Over time, though, he learned that he just needed to sit in the shit with me. He just needed to be there physically, be there emotionally, be there energetically, spiritually, all of it. I needed all of it. I needed to not feel alone. And that meant that his communication changed from everything's fine, everything's going to be okay, we're going to get out of this. It changed to, oh my God, this freaking blows right now. I don't even know where the light is at the end of this tunnel. But I'm here with you. We're in this together. We're in the suck together. Right? Those aren't the words that he would use, but that's the feeling that I got. That's the connection. I am not alone in this. He is here with me, and recognizing that this feels crappy, that this whole situation is shitty, and it's not okay. It's okay to not be okay. And it's totally not okay right now. That was a big shift in our relationship. And it took a while. It took a while for us to get there. But the point is that he embraced, he not only just allowed and created space for my pain, and vice versa. We honored it. There's a difference there, right? It's like you create some space for somebody to feel their feelings, but then you honor it. There's an honor in creating this space. It's a total validation and a total openness to hearing what somebody has to say and staying there and being there with them, even as uncomfortable as it is to hear of somebody's pain, just being there. Now, I am lucky in that this is my training, right? So I sit with people all day long who are in pain, and fuck if I haven't sat and cried with them sometimes, right? The pain is just so palpable in the room, and I can't help but have my mirror neurons firing and start crying with folks because I am in it with them. Instead of saying, okay, let's think about how we can change your thoughts about this so that we can make this better for you. No, that is not where we go. We sit with the crap first, because everything inside, everything that you need to move forward, to heal, to do all this already inside you. It's all there. You just need connection and somebody to validate that what you're feeling is shitty and it's not okay. And we're just going to be here right with you. And we're not going to try to fix it. We're just going to be here with you. Now, I see this a lot in couples, especially hetero couples, because the male brain is capable of compartmentalizing so much better. I wish that women had that capability too. Sometimes I wish it. I think both ways of thinking are really useful and they complement each other really well. But what happens in couples a lot is that men will be able to say, well, this is my work life over here, and this is my friend life over here, and this is my spouse life over here, my home life over here. This is our medical life over here. But women think globally. They think about how this interaction at work affects this interaction at home and how this medical issue affects the ability to do good work. And so it's a very different way of thinking. But what men tend to do is they become quite, protective and wanting to fix, right? And so they're great at problem solving. So they compartmentalize and they look at, okay, here's this problem right here. What can I do to fix it? But they're not looking at the whole global effect of fixing that thing, or quote unquote fixing that thing, attempting to fix that thing. They're not realizing that it's invalidating, that it's not actually helpful to attempt to fix. Here's the biggest thing that I see in couples all the time, especially in the fertility world, is that a couple will come in to see me and the female partner will say something like, I feel so alone in this. And the male partner's like, WTF, I'm right here. I'm here every day. I see you cry all the time. I try to help. I try to do all these things, right? And both are totally valid. The problem is that he's not recognizing that his protection of her, that is, the protection is, I'm not going to tell you the pain that I'm feeling inside because that'll make things worse for you. I'm going to try to be toxically positive. I'm going to tell you that everything's going to be fine. We'll be on the other side of this. I'm here for you. Let's figure this out. When really what he needs to do is say his own pain. Oh my God, I can't believe we just had another miscarriage. Like that's beyond my way of thinking. I can't believe that this is happening to us. Let's just be in bed all day and cry. And he needs to not fix it. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk to the doctor and, hey, did you do this? And did you do that? And did you ever find out about that? And what about this? Oh, and let's go talk to the so-and-so about this. No, please don't do that. Hold space and honor the crap first. So, oh my gosh, I can't tell you what a big difference it makes. There's one time that I saw a couple where the male partner was, quite manly and masculine and saw, expressing emotions as not weak, but not helpful. Like he didn't see it as helpful. It's like, well, what's this doing? But when he understood that him expressing emotion was helpful, then he got it and he leaned into it. I've never seen a transition so fast. It was like the very next session. He was like, oh my God, I cried with her and it was so much better. It was amazing. I was like clapping, like standing O for that guy. Amazing. So if you are able to recognize, you create some stillness. Here we're circling back to that Deepak Chopra thing. You create some stillness and you don't try to fix right away. This happens in all couples, by the way, in all relationships, not even just romantic relationships, friendships too. Oh, honey, it's going to be fine. We're all going to be fine. We're all in this together. Ha ha ha. And it's probably true when it's coming from a good place. The problem is it doesn't honor the pain. It doesn't hold space for the pain. And so there ends up being that disconnection. So the next time that you are in a situation where either you are trying to be positive or the other person is trying to be positive, let's start with you trying to be too positive. I don't know if there's a thing as too positive. I do tend to have rose-colored glasses, but I recognize the need to hold this space, right? So, and we're not trying to, push negative Nancy's or something, right? We're not trying to do that. We're just trying to not skip steps here. The first step is to hold space for the pain. So the next time you're with somebody who's expressing pain, be there with them in that pain. There's a song that I recently learned on the ukulele called Walk a Mile in My Shoes. And it is about that. It's about really being in that person's life, in that person's situation, how they grew up, how they are with their interrelational interactions, how all of that is, and see why then they are in the pain that they are in. Again, I recognize that I'm privileged with this because I'm a therapist and I get to do this all day. But everybody can do this. It's called being human and not trying to fix shit. It's called allowing people to be human too. So create a pause within yourself. When somebody is expressing their pain, create a pause where you notice your own reaction to this. So we all humans have this thing, I mentioned it earlier, called mirror neurons, where our brain starts firing in a way that matches what we're getting from the other person. We are actual mirrors. We're feeling it. And so create a pause where you can get in touch with what you're feeling and then be there with them in that feeling. Be there with them in the ugh. And I know it's difficult because human beings want to have no pain. We want to run away from pain. We want to eschew pain. We want to not have pain ever again. But if you want connection with a fellow human being, it's worth it to sit there in the crap with them. And all it takes is a pause. It's even more beautiful when you attempt to fix the situation and then you go, oh shit, I am so sorry. I totally just tried to fix this for you. I'm not going to do that. Erase. I'm going to start over. Let's have a do-over. And I'm just going to sit with you now in this because this, I forgot to tell you how much this freaking blows. I just forgot to say it. I'm so sorry. This sucks. And I'm just going to hang out with you in this suck. You'll see then what ends up happening is that there's less conflict. There's less fight in the other person. They just melt into the softness that you provided. I often say that to people. You need to be the other person's soft place to land. You need to be their safe place. And when you do that, when you say, I'm just going to sit in here with you in this crap, you'll see that tension just melt. Perhaps the person will cry. Perhaps they'll convulse because there's so much adrenaline and crazy chemistry happening in their body. And you just be there with them. Then ask permission to move forward. Ask permission always. Don't just start with, hey, what if this? Hey, what if, have you thought about this? No. Ask permission to move forward. It might sound like, what do you think? Do you feel like you're ready to figure this out or not really? Or do you think there's any solution to this? Or you don't even want to go there right now? So there's again, an honoring of where the person is. You ask permission. I talked about this recently with a client, just today with a client, where we were talking about asking for permission from physicians asking permission. I went to a doctor recently, just a general practitioner, to get a checkup, annual checkup. And she did that lovely PAP thing that we all adore and treasure. But it was different. It was so different than any other OB/GYN that I'd ever worked with. So different than all the REs that I've ever worked with, because they were all fine and competent and knowledgeable, but they never, ever asked permission to do things to my body. For example, I'm sitting there spread eagle, right? And they have to put that scapula up in there to get a sample and things to send away for a PAP. She says, is it okay if I spread your labia right now? Right? She asked permission. Is it okay to insert this scapula into your vagina right now? It was an unreal experience. I felt so honored. It was so fantastic. That same physician really wants to do IUIs in her office and create a ceremony around it. I think that would be so beautiful, because it is very different than my own IUI experience at the RE's office, where there were bright lights in my face and physicians poking me and shoving things up there. That was just so the opposite of honoring. It is the same vibe that we're going for with one's emotional pain. It's also emotionally painful to be in an office and have an IUI. I'm going to just say that right now. But that's the same vibe that we're going for. You ask permission to be in somebody's world and to move them forward or to guide them. You never just insert, right? All right. Now, if you are someone who needs the support, if you are the one who is feeling pain, who's in a dark space, and somebody is being toxically positive with you, it's really important that you self-advocate. I'll say this a lot. I was having a text exchange with my sister recently, and she was trying to fix shit and being like, okay, so what if we do this and do that and do this and do that? And I said, hey, D, I really don't need you to fix this right now. I just need you to listen to me. And she was like, oh my God, you're right. I was trying to fix it. I'll stop doing that and I'll just be here for you. It's that easy. Now, we have a close relationship, right? And so if you are talking with somebody who is not as close, or, there's a contentious relationship there, it may not go as smoothly. All right. Also, if you have a contentious relationship with somebody, especially if they're not a partner or a spouse or something, then it might not be worth it to go there with them. But somebody that you have a close relationship with, it is absolutely worth starting this process now, setting your limits and boundaries now, asking for what you need now. Because even though it's contentious in the beginning and they're like, well, who the hell are you now? Because this is not what you've asked for in the past. You're teaching them how to treat you in the future. It's worth it. Absolutely worth it. So start now. And you don't have to be a jerk about it. This isn't like permission to be an asshole, okay? It means saying very clearly what you need. Hey, I'm just going to make up a name. Hey, Sam, what you're doing right now is trying to fix the situation. And while I totally appreciate it, it's not helping me. I just feel really bad. And I just would love it if you can just be here with me. Think about that. It's easier for you. It's easier for me. Can you just sit in the crap with me? Can you hold my hand? Now, oftentimes that'll throw somebody for a loop because they're so used to fixing something, and they'll be like, okay, I just need to sit here. Like, well, what can I do? Can we watch a movie? Can we do, so they'll still want to do something. That's okay too, especially if it's helpful for you. But if you don't want that thing, you just say, no, I just really need you to be here physically present with me. And that's it. You just ask for what you need. Sometimes, throwing another little monkey wrench in there, you don't know what the heck you want. You just say that. I don't know what I want, honestly. I just know it's not that, because that doesn't feel right. So can you sit with me until I figure it out? That's it. It's so simple and easy, but it's easier said than done. So I encourage you to practice setting your limits. I encourage you to practice setting your boundaries. I really, really, really encourage you to practice saying what you want, advocating for yourself in all things, not just with your interpersonal relationships, with your medical team. If you are involved in medical care, ask for what you need, because they're going to tell you, you don't need this, or you don't need that, or this is the direction you need to go. But if it does not feel right to you and it is not what you want, you need to be vocal about it. You need to self-advocate. I've seen far too many situations where people self-advocated later than they wanted to, and they wish they had self-advocated earlier. So, okay. Toxic positivity is the topic for today. I hope you learned a couple of things about it, how not to be toxically positive, how to redirect when somebody's being toxically positive with you, and go forward and set your limits and boundaries and ask for what you need. You are amazing. You've got this. You can do it. Okay. May you go forward in your life, recognizing when you are being too positive or somebody's attempting to be too positive with you. And may you know exactly what to do about it now. At least have a starting point now. And if this podcast and other podcast episodes on the Miracles Happen Fertility Podcast have been useful and helpful for you, please do take a moment to leave a rating wherever you're listening. And especially if you could leave a comment, that would be amazing. But otherwise, just a star rating is completely fine. It helps other people get this same useful information. And of course, you can always just share a podcast with somebody else. I think that would be beautiful. And I appreciate you listening and being present with me today. And I can't wait for next time. I will see you then. Be well.